Hey friends, got a little sun shining on me this morning. It's a beautiful day. I have been thinking, surprise, I've been thinking about this post, and I've been I was reflecting on my motivation or my sort of impulse to add a new layer to it, to somehow grow what I'm doing. And something that showed up, I realized that the process that I've been through so far, which is now, if you're just tuning in, we're going into our third year. The second year anniversary of this daily post was on January 4th. And of the many lessons that I've learned from this practice, the one that has showed up recently, just in the last couple of days, is that I've just gotten really comfortable showing up and speaking. For a long time, I thought I was going to run out of stuff to say. Like, I thought somehow the universe and my mind we're going to run out of things to say. And I didn't know what I was going to be able to keep, whether I was going to be able to keep showing up with something worth talking about. Well, that gave way, I agonized over that for a while, but then little by little, that gave way to the understanding that not only is it not about finding something to say each day, but rather about showing up and being in a state, being in a place, speaking from a space. There's always something to come through. And sometimes I repeat things that I've said before, fine. But there's always a freshness, and there's always a presence to where I go when I actually show up and become present each day and speak. So then in sort of looking at what might happen if I added music into the mix, one of the things that showed up recently is, well, you've never really done that. I've showed up every day for 2 years now and spoken, but I haven't showed up every day for 2 years and played. I don't even know what would happen if I did that. I don't know what would happen to my playing. Where might I go? How comfortable might I get exploring on the keyboard if I took the same approach and gave it the same kind of time and commitment as I have with the ideas that I'm speaking about? So I've had the impulse to take little nuggets of new information, little harmonic ideas, melodic ideas, whatever I happen to come across, and begin to unpack them and see where they go. And just see what happens to my musical vocabulary and my musical space of expression if I just allow myself to explore, to discover, to try things out, and to let whatever comes through come through. So, in that spirit, I found an old document. It's called Exercises on Secondary Dominance. This came to me from one of probably my most influential jazz teacher, Pete Churchill. And it's just there's no music here, there's no piece here. It's just little harmonic devices that allow us to move through tonality in a single key in various ways, and all diatonic and all staying within the world of the key, but with some really kind of unexpected and intricate and elegant ways of navigating. So I'm gonna take that and run with it. See where we go. That's not something I've ever played before. That's not really a way I've ever played before. I think, one thing that's really coming to the fore in the last couple of weeks and months for me is, there's in many areas of my life, it's become a question of how to get out of my own comfort zone. That's one of the I mean, that's a question I think for just about any human being after a certain age anyway. When we sort of have our habits and our patterns established, how do we break out of that? How do we continue growing beyond what we know? And I've noticed over the last couple of days, since I declared that I'm adding music into this post, I've just felt a sense, there's been a slight discomfort. And then every time I sit down to do it, something comes through, and I sort of feel like I've just caught the coattails of discovery, and I'm hanging on for one more day. And I think, what I've come to appreciate is really it's a real discipline to get ourselves out of our comfort zone. Oftentimes we rely on other people to get us out of our comfort zone, because other people do that automatically. You spend enough time with other people, they're going to drag you out of your comfort zones. The nature, all it takes is two different human beings, and you've got two universes in the room. Now you're dealing with a different universe than your own. So, but there's ways that we can, take ourselves, if we can find ways of taking ourselves into that edge of, I don't know if I like this. I think it's a good thing. And it's then you get rewarded with, I've never played anything like that. Now I just have to learn to do that in all 12 keys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for being on the exploration, on the journey with me. Much love. I will see you tomorrow.